Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Arie94, and I'm back at it again with the back at it again with the recap. We have made it to week 7. Let me just let y'all know that I'm feeling some type of way. So I'm going to be dragging a lot and, being very, shady this week. So just a forewarning, but you already know what you got to do. You got to stay tuned. Okay. All right, y'all, welcome back to my channel. I just want to say thank you so much. If you have clicked this video, that means you are you are a loyal subscriber or viewer, or you're a new person. If you're new, thank you so much for watching. And for my old OGs, thank you so much for the love and the support. Also, if you have missed any videos, any of my previous recaps, they will be linked down below. Go ahead and check those out and catch up before you watch this video. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit the little bell next to it so you get notified of when I upload these recaps. Now, it's time for the comment of the week. Now, the comment of the week goes to a nice commenter from my week 6 recap named Lara Isabella, and she said, "Love listening to you, love the recap." Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate the comment and the support, and I hope that you really like this video because I'm gonna go in. So now let's get into this recap. So we start, and obviously they previewed last week that they would be in Tuscany, and all of the women are really excited. We get the shot of them like all together walking around, get them and their ITMs talking about, oh my God, we're in Tuscany, it's a beautiful place. We see Arie with the comb over, looking off into the distance at absolutely nothing. And we see that he's just contemplating, not sure, because it looks like he's not thinking about anything like usual, but that's just what he's doing. Because when I think of Tuscany, I think of food and wine and cheese and all of the cliche things. But that's what he could think of when he thought of Tuscany, and I probably would have said similar things, so I'll give him that. The girls go look at their hotel. It's this amazing suite with several rooms, it looks like, awesome couches, awesome decor, just all around beautiful, and it's just looking like Tuscany is going to be a great place to fall in love. And I'm really excited because it just looks like a well-rounded, like very romantic place in city. So I'm definitely excited to see where all of the people I've been rooting for, where their relationships are going to go in this place, and just how things are going to progress. So we actually see a scene of Chris Harrison, who explains how this week is going to go. He tells the ladies that there will not be a rose ceremony, but there will be 3 one-on-one dates and a group date. And these dates are going to determine the 4 women that will make it to hometowns. Now, at this point, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize this was the episode before hometowns. I just cannot believe hometowns are coming around. But Chris Harrison tells us that it's happening, and I'm just like, wow. The women are all sitting around and they're discussing the gravity of the situation. They kind of look around and they see, okay, it's the 2 Beccas, it's Jacqueline, it's Kendall, it's Cien, it's Tia, and it's, who's missing? Lauren B. Wow, I forgot about her. So out of all of them, we're going to kind of see what is the breakdown of the dates going to be and who is getting the boot. 3 women have to go home. This is going to be kind of a bloodbath. So the first date card comes, and it's actually addressed to Becca K. No surprise here. Becca K has not gotten a one-on-one since her first date, which was like one of the first weeks. And so I'm not shocked that she's getting a one-on-one during this week. Arie tells her, oh, I don't really have anything planned, but we're just gonna chill and hang out and walk around and explore. I'm just like, of course you don't have anything planned, lackluster mother. Sorry. So sorry. They're walking around, you know, with nothing to do. They're exploring. I believe they may have ended up at a picnic. I'm not exactly sure, but let's say they ended up at a picnic. And here's where they're talking about where their relationship is. We kind of hear Arie and his ITM saying, I mean, Becca and I had the first one-on-one date. There was so much magic on that date, and I've been so enamored with her. But more recently, I feel like some of that magic is kind of missing. I don't know if that spark is slowed down. We haven't seen each other, you know, in a while, and I don't know if that connection is 100% there anymore. And I'm just thinking to myself, you could have definitely given her a one-on-one between then and now, and you're wondering why the spark is not there. Like, so that's kind of Arie's concerns about Becca going into it. He feels like the chemistry has been waning. I said that literally on their first date. I said I never felt or saw the spark between them, but I thought that they had a very honest and very cutesy connection, and to me, I thought that's what he was excited about, to kind of build on their relationship, and not so much that like fire that he had with some of the other women. So he is kind of expressing that that's what's missing for him. And he is hoping to really get that going on this date, or he won't be able to give Becca K a rose. So they leave the picnic or whatever they were doing, exploring, and they actually go to the dinner. And here's where we start to hear Becca kind of confessing how she's feeling about Arie. She tells him that, I know it's been a while. I know that it's hard to move our relationship forward, but I'm really, you know, falling for you. I have very deep feelings for you. And I know for myself, I needed this one-on-one date to feel like we've progressed our relationship forward. And I feel like this date has definitely given me the clarity that I need, and I'm really into you, and I can say I'm falling for you, and I want to bring you home to Minneapolis, Minnesota. And he is just looking at her like, you know, he's trying to take it all in. But I think a part of him is still wondering if they can really progress this relationship without that like, relationship. She's kind of thinking, I need to put all of my cards on the table, or this guy is not going to give me this rose. So she puts it out on the table and tells him, I'm falling in love with you. You would be the first guy I bring home, seeing as how I never even officially brought home my 7-year relationship boyfriend. He just kind of, you know, sporadically met my parents, but it was never the formal, I'm introducing you sit down. So you would get to be the first one that I bring home to introduce to my family. And I feel very strongly about doing that. And I think that is really what like got him excited again about them, and like maybe he was able to quench his doubts and say, okay, this relationship seems to be solid. Hearing that she's falling for him, and that she was willing to open up and share him with her family, and she was confident about their relationship after this date, really incited him to be in this relationship and continue to move forward. So he picks up the rose and he says, I'm really falling for you. I feel very deeply about you. And this date gave me the clarity I needed. It made me feel like we can move forward, and I'm really excited to meet your family. So will you accept this rose? She says, always. I was like, it's cute. Real cute. I still don't feel like they have this insane chemistry. To be quite honest, I think that Becca K is a very safe choice. And I think that he is looking for this safe choice, this safe, stable relationship and girl with homegrown and good roots and very family oriented, which is always a good thing to look for. But I think right now it's still quite early for him to be pigeonholing himself in a relationship that I think he is just in as a safety net. That might seem a little harsh, and it's not to say I don't think that they have a connection, but from jump I've said that I just don't feel that like raw emotion. But it's grown and it's growing, and I acknowledge that. But for me, I think that he has these doubts, but instead of like really following in those doubts, he thinks about the potential, which is fine. I'm not knocking him for that. He thinks about the potential of where the relationship could go. And that's really what prompted him to give her that rose. We'll see how far she makes it, but at this point, she's taking one of the 4 slots of the hometowns. And for me, she is the safe option at this point. As this date is going on, we actually see back at the hotel, Jacqueline has been having a moment. Jacqueline has been expressing how she's very, 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 very unsure of how she's feeling. She's stressing out because she feels like she cannot trust herself and how she's feeling in this process. I feel like I really am falling for him, but I don't know if that's like because of this situation. She mentions a quote of like, I don't know if I'm more enamored with the idea of falling in love versus like actually the love part. I think she's just falling into the pitfall of what a lot of them have been falling into, like convincing your mind that you really like this guy and you're really in love with this guy and you're feeling all of these emotions. But I think what I really appreciate about Jacqueline is she's starting to give those hard thoughts of like, is this a fallacy? Is this a fantasy in my head? Is this environment and how it's all concocted inciting these like feelings that aren't real? When I leave this situation, am I gonna still feel the same way? She's asking herself these hard questions, and she's starting to have serious doubt. I feel like I'm falling in love with him, but I do not know if this is the guy for me, if this is the relationship for me. And she just keeps saying to herself, if she cannot find that clarity, she's gonna have to talk to Arie about how she's feeling. She's telling the girls all of this, and they're all just like, oh my God. They're, you know, Kendall, you know, the therapist Kendall, as I called her last week, is trying to talk her through this situation. She's trying to talk her through how she's feeling. And she just keeps coming to the conclusion of, I cannot trust how I'm feeling. I don't know if I completely believe and trust in the decisions I'm making here. And I need to reassess if this is it for me. And I'm just like, girl, good for you. You know, I called you a camera woman. I shaded you last week, but you are speaking very sanely and calmly, and you're really analyzing how you're feeling, and I'm not mad at you at all for it. You're really starting to assess what would happen if you ended up with this man, and I can tell you for sure you are doing the right thing by assessing that, because Then we see an appearance of another date card, and this date card is a one-on-one date, and it's addressed to Lauren B. Lauren B is getting another one-on-one, as if I didn't have to sit through one of the most boring dates of Bachelor history last week. Arie decides that he wants to put America through that again and give Lauren B another one-on-one date. Oh, okay, bet. We hear Arie talking about where he is with Lauren in their relationship and how he felt like they really broke through in the very last minutes of their date in Paris. I'm just like, no duh, when she was acting dry as a cracker whole time before that, but oh, no problem. So he's discussing that, oh, I gave her this date because I really wanted to figure out where we are, and I feel a lot for her, but almost like he doesn't know how she feels about him. I can answer that for you, Arie. She's not into you. They meet up, and he actually has a plan for her date. Not sure if that's going to do anything, though, because I'm sure it'll just be dry, boring snooze fest, but sure. They're going to be exploring. They're going to get gelato, and then they're going to get pizza. And then, of course, go on the dinner date. So they meet up with all of the things Arie has already expressed in his confessionals, with saying, I don't know if she really likes me. We're coming off of a date where I feel like we progressed our relationship right at that last moment, and I really want to keep it moving forward, and I want to hear how she feels about introducing me to her family. They're looking at the sites, obviously the beautiful statues, the beautiful cathedrals, just the views are gorgeous. That's the best part of this date. We get a quote of Lauren B saying, oh my God, Italy, it's so Italian. They're biking around this wall, and Arie is acting about 12 years old. He is literally standing on the bike. He is standing on the handlebars. He is literally riding like he is the biggest kid on earth. And Lauren B seems to be enjoying it. She's actually speaking and laughing and adding to the conversation. So that's miles ahead of what we got last week. So thank goodness for that. But Arie is just living his best life, playing like a child on this bike. They get done and they're gonna go get gelato. We get a quote of Arie saying, oh my gosh, Yay, gelato. They settle on some cones and they start again walking around the perimeter of this wall, having minimal conversation, and you can just tell that Arie is very much into Lauren B, and Lauren B seems to be a little more reserved. We hear her talking about how she is just more reserved with her feelings. She does not want to get hurt, blah blah blah, everything we've been hearing for the past week. And I'm just annoyed because I don't think this is an excuse she can use anymore. We're way too far in the game. I think she's expressed how afraid she is up until this point, and I think that storyline or that crutch that she's holding is just, to me, trying to play this like I'm so scared of being hurt card and like feel bad for me. It's just, I don't know, it's working. It's clearly working because he's looking at her with the biggest love eyes ever. But for me, I'm just like, she doesn't bring enough to get me excited about their relationship. See them sitting down at this table and they actually eat the pizza, y'all. Look pretty good. I expect nothing less. And they are enjoying their meal. Then off to the side, we see some kids playing football. We see some kids playing football, and they are just having the time of their lives. I don't know if that was set by production, but let's just say that they just happen to be there. And Arie just wants to, join the kids. He already started off this date childish, so why not? Now it's time for the dinner part of the date. So here at the dinner is where I believe it's going to be make it or break it for this rose. Lauren B's tactic to this night is to be as open as possible so that she doesn't regret not saying the things that needed to be said in this moment. So she starts off by saying, I'm just really having a great time. I'm really feeling very connected to you. And he starts kind of pressing her and saying, how would it look like to visit your family, and what would that look like? And she just says, it would look great. The last person that I've had bring home was my ex-fiance. That's given me all of these trust issues. But I think that the way I'm feeling for you right now would really make this a smooth ride. And she kind of tells him that I'm falling for you, and that scares me a lot. And I can truly be open and say that I can see a future with you, and I'm really excited about where this is going. And I was just like, oh, she knows how to speak today. Good for you, sis. Arie just ups and leaves. So we're just like, I'm just like, sir, your first instinct is to get up and run? And she's just looking like, oh my God. And we hear in her confession, she's saying, this is why I don't open up, because I just opened up myself to Arie and he just got up. And now I'm thinking, did I say too much? Is he not feeling that? Did I rush the relationship? This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So then we see Arie, from wherever the hell he went to, comes back and joins her at the table and is taking deep breaths. And she's just like, I feel like when you left, you had a look on your face. You were feeling something. Can you kind of express what you were feeling? Like, are we not on the same page? And he was just like, that's not the case at all. I'm really into you. And it just felt really good to hear you tell me how into me you are. He's just like, I'm falling for you, falling very deeply for you. And I'm excited. So obviously he gives her the rose, and I'm just like, yet another factor that I feel nothing for. Not one thing. She is, to me, how I called Becca K the safe choice. She's, to me, the same old thing that we are used to seeing on this show. The same old look, the same old story, the same old vibe. Basic. Congratulations. That's all I can muster. We're back at the hotel and we see that our good sis Jacqueline has decided that she is going to talk to Arie. She's weighed her options, she's weighed how she's feeling, and she just needs to really talk through how she's feeling with Arie. So she goes to his hotel room. She's just like, I don't feel like I can trust where we are in the process and how we are in the process and how our relationship has progressed for me to feel like this is the right time for me to introduce you to my family. She's like, I just worry that what I'm feeling is not real. Everything that I explained before, she's telling Arie. And she's just being real honest with him, basically saying, you know, it was fun, it was cute, you know, but I've been having doubts since our date, and I realized that this is not going to be feasible in the real world. So, peace is what she said. She's trying to tell him, yeah, I'm out. And he is actually shocked. She's looking at her like, wait, what? Huh? You're going home? I'm not sending you home. You're going home? And I'm living for this moment. I really wish Jacqueline would have told him that he's not a catch, that she's just, there's no way in hell she got to the place she needed to get to on this show, and she's okay with where she's placed. I wish she would have told him like that, but she's telling him, you know, I just don't feel like I'm 100% sure, and I don't want to go in not being sure. You know, she's being nice about it, which I'm like, go you, sis. But she's basically telling him I'm out, and he is shook. He can't take it. When did you feel this? He's just trying to figure out, when did you change your mind? When did you start feeling doubts? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure she didn't change her mind. She just realized that she was in her right mind the entire time, and this process was just not for her. And I'm so sorry. I wish you the best of luck. And he, you know, hugs her. He says that if at any point you feel like you regret this, come back to me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, maybe he really did feel something for Jacqueline, or maybe he can't take the fact that Jacqueline is leaving on her own terms. Jacqueline, you know, is firm on her decision, returns to the ladies and tells them, I'm going home. We see a bunch of the ladies are just shocked. Kendall starts crying. Becca M is very emotional. We see Tia looking sad. And in the back, we see Becca K trying her best to muster the best I feel so sorry for you face, but she cannot even hide the fact that she's excited. Her face, to me, she was just like, oh, so sad. Everybody, for the most part, is sad to see Jacqueline go, but she packs up her stuff, and that is actually the first of the 3 people that we're gonna lose this episode. So now at this point, we know that there's going to be 2 more dates, a one-on-one and a group date. So the ladies actually get a date card, and it says CN. You know, I'm excited to see her get this one-on-one and to see her secure this role. So we see CN meeting up with Arie. They're looking like they're in some sort of garden or field. She runs up to him and they give each other a big hug. And we hear Arie kind of telling in his ITMs that he feels very strongly about CN, and that he is a little bit worried about where their connection is going. They haven't really progressed as quickly as he wants, and he's hoping that this episode will give him some clarity on how they can move forward in their relationship. So they're in this field, and Arie tells her that they're going to be looking for truffles. So CN, being the smart little cookie she is just like, those are really hard to come by. And he's like, I know, but we have people who will help us look for them. So there's this truffle hunter guy that comes out. So he's helping them search for truffles. He is all up on her. It seems to be that the chemistry is going okay on this date, and that everything is starting well. So my team CN heart is in good hands. Arie tells her that they're going to be having a family style dinner with an Italian family. They go to this house, and they are, you know, helping them cook, and the family is grilling them. They're like, so are y'all in love? And they're like, CN's like, wow, I'm sweating. I'm blushing. I'm like, CN, bitch, you black. That's like me saying I'm blushing. Like, girl, that's my blush and my highlight. Like, girl, good stall, sis. Think of something better. Think of something better. Come on. You got it, sis. Then she says, oh, you know, I'm really excited with this process. I feel like we're moving at a really good pace. We're going at a really good speed. I'm excited. He makes me really excited, and I'm really just enjoying my time and where we are. And that seems to please Arie because he basically says, you know, similar things. He just keeps saying how he's so intrigued with CN and how she's so worldly and such a full package. And, you know, I'm starting to get a little bit wary at this point because usually when they start using those words like intriguing and like cool and exciting and interesting, those are just nice ways of describing someone without having any passionate feelings for them. So I'm always weary when they use these words, those type of descriptive words, because they're not like emotionally tied. So I'm always just kind of like, that's a cop out to me if they start using those type of adjectives. So it seems like that dinner went well. So now it's time for CN and Arie's dinner date part, and we see them at this really cool setting. To me, it sounds like they're in go mode. I think CN has picked up that this is go time, this is crunch time, and she needs to say the right things to secure that rose. He's just really asking her, how do you feel? How do you feel we are? And she's just like, I'm really excited about us. I'm really excited about what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm into this and I can truly say that I'm falling for you. And Arie is just really looking at her like a goat head. He's just like, can you even muster up energy? Anything, as this woman is pouring her heart out to you. She's just, you know, telling him about the struggle she's had and why it's hard for her to open up and find love and have love. And so he is looking at her, and you could tell he's really trying to figure out what the right thing is to say. And he just says, I've loved the connection we've had thus far, and I feel like a part of it, we've been going at a pretty good pace. And, you know, maybe something is missing. I don't know. It just seems like something might be missing. And I'm just like, yeah, probably your brain. I can answer that. She's just looking like, what do you mean missing? And I think that's when Tien realized, like, okay, this guy, he's weighing my relationship against the other ladies. He's trying to decide if he wants to keep me around. Like, go time, go time, go time, go time, go time. She looks him in the eye and she says, it's really hard for me to express myself, but I can say that maybe I haven't been bringing you along in this process and I haven't been keeping you up to date in how I'm feeling, but I want you to know that I'm really falling for you and I'm not ready for this experience to be over. I'm not ready for us to be over. And it just hit me that that could potentially happen, that our connection won't be fostered anymore, it won't be growing, and I cannot imagine that. So I need you to know that I'm really feeling you and I'm not ready for this to be over. So that's basically like her last like elevator speech. So he picks up the rose and he's just like, I really enjoyed our first date. I really enjoyed the connection we have built over this time. But he was like, I have to be honest, you know, I just feel like we haven't moved at the quickest pace, and maybe trying to say in comparison to the other relationships, hers has just not matched up and has not gotten to that level, and therefore he cannot offer her the rose. I'm trying to think of the right words to say in this moment to really convey the gravity of this moment. I think it's funny to me. I think that this show thinks they were playing with the Black viewers, playing with CN. I don't know who they think they were playing, but they were not playing me. The way and the excuse that he used in this moment to break up with CN is not flying with me. I don't know if this man, who has continuously shown me how basic his taste is, how basic he is, really, truly, I know he never deserved CN. But I don't know. And now I'm starting to question, were they playing with me the whole time? Did he really like her? Or is this a game? Was this a game? Was this a joke? She's too much of a queen, a catch, everything. She's so well above what this man deserves for him to give her this excuse that her relationship has not measured up. Okay, so when did that happen? At what point in this stage did that happen? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me where you lost interest? Maybe night one, but you're trying to play with people, huh? You think it's a game? It's a joke? Nintendo? Xbox? Which one is it? Because you're not playing me. The reason did not make sense to me. It didn't. If that was the case, when I started to notice the chemistry was kind of off a few weeks ago, if y'all remember that recap, then she should have been sent home then. But maybe, oh, don't send her home yet. It'll look bad. I would rather have that than to have this BS excuse that he just gave CN. Oh, we're not where we need to be. Foolish. You look dumb. You look crazy letting go this beautiful queen without a real explanation, because that was BS and I refuse to believe it. But I'm very excited that CN is going home because she's literally dodging this bullet. Am I upset because she didn't take it to the top? Maybe a potential top 2? Yes, I'm very upset. But, you know, she's better off for it. She's gained so many fans, so much love. Obviously, for me, I would love to see her as Bachelorette. I'm really rooting for her outside of this. CN boo, I wish you all of the luck. Team CN forever, ever, ever. I'm not picking a new team. Team CN. Let's get it. We're back at the hotel, and we see that obviously this is going to be the last date card. Tia, Kendall, and Becca with the pixie cut. Becca with the pixie cut. As they get the date card, we also see that the production removes CN's bags. The ladies start freaking out, and they're just like, they cannot believe that CN is going home. On the flip side, we hear Becca talking about how, you know, oh my God, now there's 2 more roses and that my odds are better. Y'all know I'm Team Becca. I was very disappointed in her in this moment because CN just went home, and I understand that it's like a very stressful situation and you need as better of chance as you can get, but I thought it was very tasteless how she said it, like, oh, there's 1 more rose and da 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 da, like, yeah, that is better for me. It was, to her, it just seemed like she was focused on the rose and not like getting to that next level. So maybe it's the way she said it that came off wrong to me, but I was definitely very disappointed in her in this moment. And y'all know I ride for her, but I can tell you when I think something was wrong, and I thought that was wrong, sis. We're gonna have a group date with these ladies, and now we know that because CN didn't get a rose, there's still 2 roses up for grabs. So we see the ladies meet Arie outside in the field. It looks like the date is just going to be outdoors. They're not going to really be doing anything beside having conversations, drinking champagne, and trying to make it out alive. So the first person he talks to is Kendall. She kind of details what it would be like to meet her family. She says, you know, I think they would be a little bit weary about the fact that our relationship developed so late. How would we kind of explain that? I think that would be the biggest issue that they would see with it. And he was just like, yeah, I could see that, but I'm really comfortable with where we are now. I'm really excited about it. I'm happy. You make me happy. You make me really excited. And he's not worried about explaining that. He's just really excited to meet her family. And they're all touchy-feely, huggy, kissing. And I'm just like, her connection and everything, she's literally probably the dark horse of this season. I'm just like, sis, okay, Kendall. Okay, sis, she really is, you know, proving that you can really come out of nowhere and secure a connection. So it looks like they're not doing too bad. Very interesting to see that he gravitated or is gravitating so well towards Kendall. So definitely a shock to me. Then he talks to Tia. They're starting off very well. Tia's really putting herself out there and is just saying, I'm really serious. It makes me very nervous to think that this could be the end of our relationship. You know, she said, you know, I feel like I haven't necessarily been 100% open with you. Maybe I need to reiterate how I'm feeling because, you know, Tia has said in the past that she's falling in love with him. And she said that very early on. And now she's like, maybe you didn't hear me correctly, sir. Yeah, I'm falling for you. Like, yeah, don't forget it. Okay, thanks. And this is where Tia, who I was excited for, who was seeing her on my TV screen, this is where Tia's likeness in my book took a major turn. Tia decides that she's going to discuss with Arie how she feels about Becca M. She has been observing all episode how Becca has been acting so, you know, so nervous and has been talking about roses, and she's probably been hearing Becca talk about how she's maybe a little doubtful and hesitant, and she decides that she's going to tell Arie that she just doesn't think Becca M, being that she's 22, is serious. Maybe it's insecurity, maybe it's her age, or maybe it's a lack of experience. Whatever the case may be, Becca M is just not prepared for this. She decides that she will be the bearer of that news to Arie. So, y'all already know what I'm about to say. I've detailed my cardinal rule number 1, right? So if y'all know it, I want you to say it with me. Cardinal rule number 1. Pause this video. Do you got it? Do you got it? Cardinal rule number 1. Don't be a what? Don't be a what? Y'all know it. Don't be a snitch bitch. And guess what Tia decides to do? Not only does she decide to be a snitch bitch, she decides to be a snake. Because that's the only thing I can describe this behavior as, is snake activities. On the day that's going to determine if you get a rose over potentially the other woman, you decide to now relay some concerns to Arie about how you're feeling. Wow, perfect timing, Tia. So she tells him, you know, I just don't think Becca M is ready. It just concerns me that the way I'm so serious, it doesn't appear that she's that serious about you. I don't think she's ready for marriage. You should basically saying you should be careful. That's not the one. Yeah, you're a fraud. You're a fraud and you're a snake for that move. Because like I said, that was so unnecessary. I do not like when someone takes the time out of their time to discuss another woman and how they feel. First of all, that the lead will always figure it out. Second of all, let them make that decision for themselves. Do not nudge him. Don't nudge his feelings. Don't get in the way of that. Do not plant a seed and then pretend that you're Becca's friend, because that to me is very snake-like. It's very fraudulent, and I was very disappointed in you for doing this. Maybe you thought it was the right thing to do. Oh, you're protecting Arie and his heart. Oh, it's all bullshit. It's all crap. You're trying to protect your own ass. You're trying to get further so you can make it to be Bachelorette. I see through all of your measures, Tia. You're not fooling me. And this move that you made, I was supporting your whole Tia for Bachelorette, trying to undercut and be real slick with it, but now I'm not, because this is very fraudulent. Don't get in the way of someone else's relationship. Don't get in the way of their connection. Don't sabotage it. Let it do its own work. Let them get there on their own. But you decided you wanted to speed up that process. You wanted to get into that. And that just makes it super uncool to me. I'm very disappointed. I'm disgusted. That's what she's going to do. That's how she's going to get ahead. She's going to, you know, tell Arie that she's so concerned for him. Huh? Okay. So I can't even tell you what they actually discussed about their own relationship, because she was too busy spilling the tea or giving her 2 cents about Becca. She returns to the bench where the rest of the ladies are sitting, and she says to them, oh, you know, I just want to let you know, Becca, that I actually told Arie that, you know, I'm a little bit concerned about you. I don't know if you're all the way ready. And you can see the moment. I tell you, go back to the episode. You could see the moment where Becca was just like, I thought we were friends. Like that moment of just like disbelief. Becca, I know she was just like, wow, this is what we're doing. And then the moment kind of faded, and then it was just like emotion. And Becca starts crying. And I'm just like, so angry in this moment, because I'm sick of these 25, 26, 27-year-olds using a 22-year-old's age against her. Y'all are still 10 years younger than this man. Y'all are still hella immature. It's like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. Bye. All the way bye. And everybody else who's using that excuse, hard facts is what I need. I don't need you to keep using an age and where you think somebody is emotionally. Let the lead figure that out for himself. Now Becca's about to go talk to Arie, and she can barely hold it together. Arie sees her crying, and he's just like, what's going on? And she just breaks down. She's just like, I'm Tia just told me that she told you that she doesn't think I'm ready. And she's crying and she just can't control her emotion. And he's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me, why are you upset about this? And I'm just like, why wouldn't she be upset? All I'm thinking is, Becca, you better turn these tears into, into a conversation. You better make him really feel the impact of why you're upset. So Becca continues to cry. They go and they sit down. And he's like, tell me why this upsets you so much. And she's just like, because I feel like I'm really being misunderstood. Like, I'm sick of them using my age against me and my maturity and all of this other stuff. Like, it's not fair. If I didn't see it with you, if I didn't feel like we could have something, then I would not be here. And he's just like, yeah, I know. Don't let it get to you. It looks like you were able to turn the tears into like a conversation and really solidify why you're here and that you're still into him. And it looks like he was really receiving her well. They even have a cutesy moment where she's just like, you might be old or whatever, but look, I'm graying too. She's like, look at the back of my head. Look, I got a gray hair on the side of my head. And he was just like, oh my God, you old lady. Like, they had a cutesy moment. I'm like, yes, the chemistry is back on. Becca and Arie are back on. Like, the snake didn't ruin it. Thank goodness we can move forward. Arie actually picks up the rose and he says, I'm really excited about this relationship. We had a really good conversation and I'm very confident in meeting this person's family. And he says, Kendall. Now I'm nervous. So this leaves Becca and Tia for this last rose. So we're hoping that Arie will pick up that rose and announce the next person. But he announces that there's going to be another dinner. I'm just like, as if I needed another dinner where they don't eat and they stress me out. I'm tired. We see them at the dinner portion. He actually goes and he talks to Tia. And Tia here is just really using the angle of, I'm giving you a piece of my heart, please consider how much I care for you. She's just like, I'm really ready. I'm really looking out for you. I'm really into you. I've never been able to give a piece of my heart to someone who I feel like can really take care of it. And she's basically saying that I'm giving it to you because I feel like you can. He goes and he talks to Becca and they're wrapped up and they're looking in each other's eyes. And she's just basically using the angle of, please, like, have a little more faith in me. She's like, this is scary for me, but I'm ready. I'm into you. Like, she's just like, I need you to trust me and believe me. And he is trying his hardest to look in her eyes, but he keeps breaking eye contact. So I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm thinking, why is he fidgeting? Why is he looking away? He's never like that with her. And I'm just praying. I'm just like, he better not do anything stupid. She's trying to put herself out there and say, like, don't let the age fool you. She's just, have faith in me. Have faith in me. Have faith in this. I'm falling for you. She's like, we're one and the same. We're logical people who lead with our hearts. And don't stop doing that. And y'all remember their one-on-one date where I said it's always the war of his head and his heart. And again, I see them again and I'm wondering, is his head gonna win this time? They're back at the table and he picks up that rose and he says that he's reflected on this decision, he's confident in the decision, and that the rose is going to Tia. Could this be a harder day for me? Like, something told me that my two favorites were gonna go home in the same episode. I cannot tell you why, but I kept saying, that can't be possible. It can be. It doesn't make sense. That would be like the two best people going home. He's not dumb. He's dumb, but he's not that dumb. For him to say he's confident in this decision and blah, 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 I'm just like, no, you're a fool. Like, and I know you're gonna regret this, sir. The people that are left have me wondering how, why, when, where, who, every question I have. Because every person that I've seen have a genuine connection, he has sent home. So I'm just wondering now, how serious is Arie about using his heart to find love. At this point, I feel like he's mentally convincing himself of connections that are not really there. Tia is playing the game. She's playing him. I feel like they're using Becca's age against her, which is pissing me off because I really do feel like she's more genuine than everybody left. Maybe except for Becca K. The fact that he's sending home Becca with, like, how could you send that home? All because, and what pissed me off is he didn't again give a reason to Becca. Can I walk you out? He asks her, and he takes her, walks her to the limo, and she just says, I think you're gonna do great in this process and I wish you the best. And that's all they had to say to each other. Do you understand how upset I am, how heartbroken I am for this entire, like, and he had nothing to say. All he could do was give crocodile tears to the camera and say, that was really hard for me, but I knew it was something I needed to do. I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up. He cannot keep playing with my emotions. Like, square up, square up. No one can convince me that Becca was not the most genuine and they had the best chemistry together. And then he had the nerve to say, yeah, you know, it's sad to let her go. She really kept things fun for me and exciting. And I'm just like, you're an asshole. If that's the thing you can say about her. She kept things fun. Okay, cool. How about you be real and say, I'm actually scared of how I'm feeling, and I have to go with what, you know, would make me look the most responsible and the most, you know, logical, and whatever the reasoning was, because I don't see it with not any of them. As the resident spokesperson for Team Becca and Team CN, as hard as I ride, this episode was trash, 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 and I'm still pissed. I cannot communicate this enough, that this man, he needs to stop playing with me. He needs to stop, this show needs to stop playing with me. They need to give me better answers as to why people are going home, genuine people who have good connections. I need better answers. That's my recap for week 7. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please, you already know what you gotta do. You gotta like, you gotta leave a comment, and you got to subscribe. That'll encourage me to keep doing these. I'm gonna try to review Winter Games just to kind of get over this trauma. If you would like to see that, definitely tell me in the comments, and also leave a like so I know that y'all are feeling these. That's just kind of how we gotta end today. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to keep it real. I had to drag. I'm sorry. I had to come through and drag them. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if this was too much for you, but it's how I'm feeling, and I gotta keep it all the way 1,000 with y'all. So I hope y'all have a good week. Y'all be good now, and maybe you'll see me next week. Bye.